Picture this. You're standing in a golden hall, the Pharaoh's right there, and one wrong word could get you banished, disgraced, or, fed to something with a lot of teeth. Welcome to ancient Egypt's royal court, where your mouth could be your greatest weapon, or your fastest ticket to an early grave. Now here's the wild part. More than 4,000 years ago, one man wrote down the oldest self-development advice in history. His tip? Shut up. Well, he phrased it more elegantly. Control your tongue. And here's the thing, this isn't just ancient politics. If you've ever lost a job, ruined a friendship, or tanked a date because of something you said, this lesson is for you. So let's dive into Ptahhotep's 4,000-year-old guide to shutting your mouth and winning at life. Chapter 1. Life at the Pharaoh's Court. So, who was this guy giving advice about keeping quiet? Ptahhotep wasn't just some random scribe with a good vocabulary. He was the vizier, the Pharaoh's right-hand man, running the day-to-day operations of Egypt's fifth dynasty around 2400 BCE. Imagine being in his shoes. One minute you're organizing grain shipments for the Nile Delta. The next you're managing political drama between nobles whose eyeliner costs more than your house. And here's the kicker. In a place like this, talking too much wasn't just rude. It was dangerous. The royal court was basically the original high-stakes office politics. Every conversation was a chess match. If you said the wrong thing to the wrong person, you might disappear for vacation. And by vacation, I mean the crocodile kind. Ptahhotep knew this world inside out. And instead of writing some ancient tell-all scandal scroll, he wrote a manual for young officials. A survival guide disguised as wisdom literature. And at the very top of his list, control your tongue. Because in ancient Egypt, words weren't just air, they were power. They could win you the Pharaoh's trust, or lose it in a heartbeat. Chapter 2. Core Lesson from Ptahhotep. Here's what Ptahhotep actually wrote more than 4,000 years ago. Control your tongue. Do not be boastful of your knowledge, but consult with the ignorant and the wise. On the surface, it's simple. Talk less, listen more. But hidden inside is a masterclass on influence. See, Ptahhotep isn't just telling you to keep quiet. He's telling you why. When you're not constantly speaking, three things happen. 1. People pay more attention when you finally do say something. 2. You avoid revealing information that can be used against you. 3. You create space for others to open up, and that's when you really learn. Chapter 3. Why this advice worked then and works now. In Ptahhotep's Egypt, the stakes were brutal. A careless word could destroy alliances, spark feuds, or convince the pharaoh you weren't loyal. There were no PR team, no legal disclaimers. Your mouth was the only filter you had. Fast forward 4 millennia, and while your boss probably can't feed you to crocodiles, the principle hasn't changed much. Words still travel faster than you can control them, and the damage can be just as permanent. In the ancient court, saying the wrong thing could lose you your position. Today, it might lose you your job, your credibility, or, thanks to the internet, your reputation in about 3.5 seconds. We've basically traded palace gossip for group chats, Slack messages, and social media. But the speed and reach of a bad sentence is worse than ever. And here's the interesting thing. The less you speak, the more people assume you're wise. That was true under the shadow of the pyramids, and it's true in the break room at work. Ptahhotep wasn't trying to make you mysterious for the sake of being mysterious. He understood that influence comes from listening first, speaking second, and never using your words carelessly. That was survival then, and it's still survival now, just with fewer cobras in the hallway. Chapter 4, The Psychology of Silence. Silence isn't just the absence of noise, it's a tool. Psychologists call it the pause effect. When you wait before speaking, people feel the tension. They lean in, they pay attention. And when you finally say something, it hits harder. Ptahhotep knew this instinctively. In the pharaoh's court, silence created mystery. People assumed you were calculating, wise, maybe even more powerful than you actually were. In a room full of chatter, the quiet person stood out. And here's the kicker. Silence doesn't just change how others see you. It changes what you see. When you're not rushing to respond, you notice details, tone of voice, hidden emotions, little clues in body language. That's valuable information in any century. In modern life, the same principle works. Job interview, pause before answering. Negotiation, let the other person fill the silence. Heated argument, stay quiet, watch the other side that reveal more than they intended. And yes, there's a humor angle too, because sometimes the smartest thing you can say is nothing, especially at family dinners when your uncle starts talking about politics. Chapter 5, How Controlling Your Tongue Helps You. So what actually happens when you control your tongue? First, you dodge unnecessary conflict. Most arguments aren't about truth, they're about ego. If you can resist the urge to win every exchange, you sidestep drama that eats up your time and energy. Second, your words gain weight. If you're not talking constantly, people notice when you do speak. It's like a rare coin. The less common it is, the more valuable it becomes. Third, you become a better listener. And being a good listener makes you more persuasive, because people trust those who make them feel heard. Ptahhotep would have said, if you know what others want, you already have the upper hand. Think about it. In negotiations, job interviews, even dating, the quiet person often comes across as more confident. It's not about being shy, it's about being deliberate. And in case you think this is all just ancient philosophy fluff, every successful leader, from CEOs to diplomats, uses this exact skill. Some just learned it the hard way, after saying one sentence too many. Chapter 6, Practical Ways to Apply Ptahhotep's Lesson. Okay, let's make this ancient wisdom actually usable in your everyday life. Here are 3 ways to practice Ptahhotep's rule starting today. 1. The 5-second rule for speech. Before replying to something emotional, count to 5. In those 5 seconds, ask yourself, does this help me or hurt me? If it's going to hurt, smile and say nothing. 2. The 70-30 conversation rule. Aim to listen 70% of the time and speak 30%. People will feel that you're so easy to talk to, but really, you're gathering intel like a seasoned strategist. The 3-word limit in arguments. When tensions rise, answer with 3 calm words. I understand you. This doesn't mean you agree, and it means you're not throwing more fuel on the fire. You can literally start these today, and you'll notice something strange. You'll be more respected, more trusted, and less drained at the end of the day. Ptahhotep wasn't telling you to be silent forever. He was telling you to be master of your words, not their slave. And that's a skill that never expires. So, that's Ptahhotep, an advisor from 4,000 years ago telling you that your tongue can be your greatest asset or your greatest enemy. His advice is old as the pyramids, but just as solid. And here's the thing. This was only the beginning. After Egypt came the thinkers of Mesopotamia, then the mystery-loving pre-Socratics in Greece. People like Thales, who believed the universe began with water, and Pythagoras, who saw numbers everywhere. In the next episode, we're going to jump 1,000 years forward to meet the first recorded Western philosopher, and he'll give you a tip about seeing the invisible patterns in life that can change the way you make decisions. So if you want to keep building your personal wisdom library, hit subscribe, because the journey from the Nile to the modern mind has only just started.